I like YouTube and welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Beauty Balanoria, across all my social media platforms. If you would, please definitely go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Of course, thumbs up this video, share it amongst your family and friends. And of course, always get a conversation started with me in the comment section below. But as you guessed it, we're going to do a Let's Talk. Get ready with me. Video's a little long. I get it. I understand. I'm also reviewing some new products from Smith & Co. while we're actually talking about it. And just going through a couple of different things and also using, some of the eyeshadows that I had in from my Terra Moon's cosmetic collection. So if you're ready to hear what I think about Jeffree Star and other influencers still continuing with their shenanigans out in California. If you're ready to hear what I think about Miss Jaclyn Hill's latest launch with her liquid lipsticks and just the brand in general, and of course this David Dobrik situation, then you already know. Let's keep watching.
You might be the one taking me home. One thing really lead to one.
Okay, so the base of my eyebrows are done. Just base right now because I still got to go back in and fix them. But I just wanted to go ahead and just play in some new to me products. I did go ahead and get the Smith & Co. This is their Veiled Threat Weightless Micro Blurring Foundation. And I did go ahead and get it in the 430 Neutral and the 360 Neutral. I don't know why I got the 360 Neutral. I don't know what's happening or what's going on with me. I don't know. This is the 360 Neutral, and this is the 430 Neutral. Trying to pick your shades after. Okay, it's not breaking. Trying to fix your shades after quarantine. Trying to pick your foundation shades after quarantine when you aren't in an area where you can tan, or if you don't self-tan. A lot of us are not the same shades we used to be. But these are the two I went ahead and got. And I figured even if I can mix them, they were on sale. So even if I mix them, I may be able to get my actual shade. But let's go ahead and look at 360 Neutral. And pay no attention to the scars I have because, I was busy bathing my cats. And if you know anything about bathing cats, let's just say they completely tore me up. And here I go again using way too much for the actual swatch. So this is this shade, blended out. This is this shade right here, blended out. We'll let that one sit and try to see if it oxidizes, if it changes. Let's try to get this one out. Okay, that's enough for that one. And let's just see. I mean, obviously too dark. But let's just see how much darker will it go. And if they start to oxidize on me, or if I just need to go ahead and just mix them. Because if I take just a little bit of the 430 Neutral and just a little bit of the 360 Neutral, and if I take and mix them both together, a lot of times this is what I'll do when I find my favorite foundations that I really love that work for me year round. I'll buy a shade that's like my exact wintertime shade. And I'll also buy a shade that's my perfect summertime shade. And I'll just be able to mix them to be able to wear them throughout the year. So this is the darker one, which is going to be 430 Neutral. This is the lighter one, which is 360 Neutral. And this right here is what both of them mix together. And just playing with it just to see if I need to add a little bit more of the lighter one in, a little bit more of the darker one in. And yeah, those are the actual shades. So we're going to go ahead and leave those on my chest for a moment and actually just see, what happens, what comes across with them. The darker shade would definitely help to play in, of course, when outside open back up, even though I'm in Atlanta. Y'all be like, y'all been wide open for months, Lynn. They've been wide open for months. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into this eyeshadow look. I wanted to go ahead and play with my Terra Moon shadows. I went ahead and put them in this old ColourPop box. My Terra Moon shades. I just want to go ahead and play with them. And it is an old ColourPop 10 pan palette that they used to sell and send out for us, guys. I just went ahead and removed the interior package of the Color Moon package since it has a magnetic. It becomes like a Z palette on the inside. And I just threw all my Terra Moons into it. And I wrote Terra Moon on it, so I know exactly what they are. I'm going to play with that, but in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to go ahead and use my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette and mix it with my Ace Beauté Flare palette to go ahead and do my actual crease and to actually set down my eyeshadow. This is the CoverGirl Lid Lock eyeshadow that eyeshadow primer that I have on. And my eyebrows are the Morphe micro brow pencil and Double Dutch. So let's go ahead and get these eyes done. You guys already know I'll go ahead and use these top 2 shades to go ahead and set down underneath my actual brow, so I don't have any blending issues going up into my actual brow. And I'm really just going to go ahead and pull a quick look together. But while I'm actually doing my makeup, let's talk about... Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things that, you know, is happening and going on in the actual beauty community. That whole Jeffree Star situation, let's go ahead and talk about it. So Jeffree Star, in case you guys don't know, decided to do an impromptu meet and greet at a car show out in California during the pandemic, while California is going through all of their craziness right now during the pandemic. I want to go in here and I just want to take Hazelnut from the Ace Beauté Flare palette, and I'm just going to put this into my crease just a little bit so I can have that warmth going through my actual crease. And I don't want a whole lot, just a little bit to build up the warmth in my crease. And I'm not blending or doing anything. I just want a really warm, kind of orangey, not terracotta brown. And I don't feel like digging through my makeup collection to find it, so I could just create it. I'm going back into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to take this warm brown first. And I'm going to go in here and build out a little bit of depth. Anyway, so Jeffree Star decided that he wanted to go ahead and have an impromptu meet and greet, even though he was just supposed to be like a last minute show at the actual auto show, like just a last minute pop-up celebrity appearance, blah, 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 blah. So he decided to have this during the pandemic in California after he decided to shave his head and dye his hair pink. He did go ahead and notify his social media following with enough time for people to get out there and actually see him. So what we actually saw happen was, I'm going to go into this deeper, richer, neutral brown right here. And I'm going to use that to darken up my edges. But what we saw happen was a lot of people went and cut their hair. And they all decided to go down there and meet up with Jeffree Star, because at the end of the day, he does have a huge fan base that will follow him, that do want to come see him and different things like that. So anytime he's doing something, they're definitely going to show up. So you saw him pull up in his pink cars, no mask, none of that, and actually started to take pictures with his fans. Again, no mask, anything like that. We even saw the video clip of one of the girls actually removing her mask to be able to take a better picture with Jeffree Star. And I was just sitting up there just watching it all play out and happen. I'm going to take a fluffier brush, and I'm going back into the Ace Beauté palette, and I'm going to dip back into that orange just a little bit, not too much. And I'm just going to use this just to go ahead and blend right here, so I still have that warmth that I want. Now I'm starting to blend it out. But anyway, so if he wants to be irresponsible during the pandemic, even though he has a platform and with greater responsibility, when you grow and get to a certain point of influence, you also have to take responsibility for the things you're doing and putting out there, especially when you know you have younger, more impressionable fans. and they're going to do everything in their power just to be able to come see you, come support you, just whatever it may be. You just want to make sure that you're trying to be as responsible as possible in said given situation. Um, with the fans that went out to actually see him, of course, we're going to see from the car show, of course, we're going to see some spikes with the coronavirus cases. I mean, that's just, that just goes without saying. Anytime you have an event that large with that many people coming, wearing masks, not wearing masks, you guys already know it's just a recipe for disaster. I'm not even sure how that was even allowed to happen, because I could have swore California was still under a lockdown. They were coming out of it, but last time I checked, I don't think you guys were actually out of it. The level of irresponsibility at this point. I'm gonna use this Makeup Revolution. This is their Pro Base, and this is their Aqua Priming Base. I'm gonna use this as a base to go in here with my Terra Moon Cosmetics. Not actually spraying the brush just yet. I just sprayed it down on my actual palette in front of me. I'm just trying to figure out which one of these do I want to actually do. And do I want to go into this one, which is a really shifty, or do I just want to stay completely green today? Nope. Nope. That's so pretty. But that's the one I want to go into. That one is the one I'm going to go into. So I'm going to go ahead and use Terra Moon Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Mood Ring. And I'm going to go in here first with my finger and just put Mood Ring down. These are the benefits of not having fake nails, which is why I pop mine off. You can just go in here so easy with just your actual hands and actually get it done. But the whole situation with Jeffree Star, his meet and greet, even though it's not officially labeled a meet and greet, I don't know what else you would call it. You literally went on your social media hours ahead of time, told your fans, millions of fans, exactly where you were going to be, what time you were going to be, and basically said, come down and see me. Like they weren't going to show up. To me, it was just like, at this point, you can't stop influencers from being selfish. It becomes apparent, especially the California influencers who still continue to go out and party, who still continue to host events, who still continue to just do everything but think about their young, impressionable viewers. Now, I want to go ahead and amp this up just a little bit. And how I'm going to amp it up a little bit, I'm going to take one of the Terra Moon shade shifters, one of these holographic, whatever you want to call them. And I'm trying to see the shift. Do I want to go with that shift or this shift? Let's see. Ooh, that's a pretty shift. Ooh. This one goes kind of pinky a little bit. I'm going to go with that first shift. So the first shift I went ahead and picked up is going to be Lightyear. And I'm going to go into Lightyear with the Carity E36 brush. And because I'm pulling it right here on my inner corners, I'm going in with the brush dry first. And I'm just going to pack it and put it right here. And I'm blending it into Mood Ring, so I get more of a dimensional shift with my actual eye. But my flappy folds over here, sometimes when my eye folds like that and I can't really get right in here to how I want to, I'll take and pull my eye. So I can get right in there and go across these edges and place my product down the way I need my product placed down. Now what I'll do to go ahead and keep my eyes, my shadows and stuff from transferring, before I do that, let me go ahead and deepen up these tails just a little bit. Now that I have the eye look actually down and in place, I want my tails deepened just a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that neutral chocolate brown and dip into the black just a little bit. And I'm just going to go in here and just brush across. Just a little. so I can get more of a deeper blend. See how it's a little bit deeper on this side than it is on that side? So that's what we're looking like right now. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner. Anyway, back to this whole Jeffree Star situation. To me, it's just like, at this point, it's kind of, it kind of, unfortunately for me and anybody else watching, I'm using my Huda Beauty Life Liner and Extreme Black to tight line my upper lids. Okay, now I'm back to like what I was saying. At this point, for the rest of us watching, it's just not Jeffree Star. It's a lot of the influences out, specifically in California. At this point, you aren't gonna stop them from going out and partying. Tana, Nikita, Jake Paul, all of them, the Bryce, Hype House. Yeah, at this point, I don't want to say it is what it is because it's still horrific. But at this point, you can't stop them from going out. You can't stop them from partying. You can't stop their fans from wanting to go out and see them. At this point, you just have to protect yourself as best as possible. So if you're out in that area, or if you're visiting that area at this point, if the governor and mayors really wanted to put a stop to that, they would. And shutting down people's electricity, or asking them to vacate any type of rental properties they may have, or any of this other stuff that they've been bringing up and trying to do to prevent, all of these parties and stuff from happening in the hills and Calabasas and different places like that, or these different restaurants and stuff that they'll go to. If they really wanted to stop and prevent all of that from happening, they really could. So what I'll do to keep the eyeshadows from moving around and transferring, since I have hooded lids, I'll go in and fill it in with like a tacky primer spray, either my Smashbox primer water or actual primer base. I'll spray it and I'll let it dry down. But basically while that's drying down, it's just like, with this whole Jeffree Star situation, the meet and greets and all this other stuff. Guys, excuse me. Guys, at this point, it's not too much we can do. At this point, it's horrible. It's horrific. It's putting people's health at risk and in jeopardy because, fine, cool. Some people may get the coronavirus and they may be fine 2-3 weeks later. They may be fine in 5 days. But some people get the coronavirus and they actually die. They actually have long-lasting health issues. They actually are hospitalized. And to me, it's just irresponsible to put your fans and followers in that type of position just because I just think that's crazy. Now, the next thing with the beauty community I want to talk about is Jaclyn Hill's new release of her liquid lipsticks. I really, really, really do want to go ahead and try her liquid lipsticks. I did go ahead and order some of her powders at Ulta Beauty now that they are actually on Ulta Beauty. So that'll be coming for you guys in an upcoming video. Right now, I'm just making sure that I don't look up or move while I'm just sitting up here letting that completely dry down. So that way it'll keep my eyeshadow and stuff from moving around on me. And it's really because I have hooded eyes. Sometimes you guys don't always see this in the videos because sometimes I cut these parts out. But while I'm talking, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that part in for you guys. So this way you guys actually know. So when you see like different eyeshadows and how does it last for so long, or how are they able to wear without it creasing, you just need to make sure you actually seal it in. If I know it's a very movable formula, then I'll seal it in twice. You'll see me spray over my face again after I finish. Anyway, so let's go ahead and prime my face. I'm going to go ahead and prime my face with, they say it's blurring, so it shouldn't be that bad. I'm going to go ahead and use my NYX, the Marshmallow Primer. You guys know how much I actually love this. And I'm just going to use 2 little squirts this time around. Just to get in here and prime my face down. Jaclyn Hill's new launch. I'm here for it because I love liquid lipsticks. You guys know that. I'm also here for it because I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm one of those people who still look at Jaclyn Hill like, we're still rooting for you. I don't think anybody wants to see you go away because, I'm not one of the ones who's saying she can go away and stay gone. No, I'm rooting for her to finally figure everything out, finally get everything together, finally make this stuff, make it make sense, Jaclyn. Make it make sense. So I definitely want to go ahead and try one of her liquid lipsticks. I'm using the e.l.f. and this is the matte putty primer. I wanted to try her liquid lipsticks. I did until I saw the price of them. And that's when I, went ahead and checked out once again. And when I say checked out, I'm not saying I went and bought some from the brand. I'm saying I checked out from the brand, period. She's had too many problems and issues before in the past. Let me preface this statement before I complete what I was about to say. When you start your brand, I don't care what it is you're doing or whatever it is you're selling. You can come in and list your stuff at drugstore prices, sub drugstore, sub prestige pricing, kind of like drugstore, Maybelline, L'Oreal. Sub prestige pricing would be Colored Rain, stuff like that for me. Then you got your prestige pricing, which is your Too Faced, your MAC, stuff like that. And then you got your luxury prices, which is going to be your Dior makeup, your Gucci makeup, your Natasha Denona, your Pat McGrath. See what I'm saying? So you can come in and list and price your brand however you want to, based on your ingredients, based on what you want your brand name to be, based on what you see your brand being. But you just need to back it up, and back it up in your formulations, back it up in your actual brand itself, your brand recognition. Like, back it up no matter what you do, because it doesn't matter if we're spending $100 on your foundation or we're spending $4 on your foundation. At the end of the day, we want a great product with great ingredients that works and doesn't break us out or give us a chemical reaction or it's crazy. See what I'm saying? So for Jaclyn to want to price her products at a prestige level with all of her mistakes and mishaps, all the way going back to Gerard Cosmetics, you want to go ahead and come on up through and talk about Makeup Geek, and then you want to talk about the whole situation with Morphe, with Becca, then with Morphe, and then just her own launches themselves. You like, look, chick, you've had too much damage to your brand, and you are your brand. We're not talking about Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. We're talking about Jaclyn, period. She's had too much damage to her and herself as a brand to elicit that type of confidence for me to want to go pay MAC prices for her makeup line. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And the only reason why I went ahead and bought her stuff at Sephora is, one, I had a coupon for it. And two, I used points to pay for it. And that's Sephora Ulta. Oh, she's now in Ulta Beauty for some of her items. And I know at Ulta Beauty, if I have problems or issues, I could just go ahead and walk this stuff right on back into the store and get my money back. I ain't got to worry about mailing stuff off, waiting. I know some of her customers with the lipstick gate, they were waiting months on a refund. I'm like, that's nuts and that's ridiculous. I just didn't want to get caught up in that. Looking at the shades on my chest, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the 380. So we're going to go ahead and go into the actual 380 on my... Let's use a brush for this. Let's use a brush. Let's see what happens when I use a brush. I put one full pump on the brush, and let's just see how this goes and how this plays out. What is all this little stuff on my face? Huh. I don't know. This is weird. Anyway, so let's go in here and see. And this is the Smith & Co. shade 380 Neutral. It oxidizes. See the fresh one compared to when it dries down? It oxidizes. Okay. Just so I know what I'm dealing with. Okay. So this would make it easier for me in dealing with the actual product. Anyway, and the brush that I'm using, this is a Makeup Forever Professional 108 straight foundation brush. And that's a whole nother pump I just went ahead and put out. And I'm kind of patting and swiping. That's kind of the motion that I'm going through right now. Anyway, so for Jaclyn, I just, got it in my eyebrows. Jesus Christ, Lynn. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So for Jaclyn, I'm just like, I want to, I, I really want to be able to get her products and just really just be like, okay, this is great. This is amazing. We're not having any problems. We're not having any issues. Like, okay, great. It's just the brand just hasn't elicited a whole lot of confidence for me personally to really order directly from the brand. So if it's not at Ulta, I'm not buying it because I'm not wanting to go through any of those problems or issues that her customers went through last year and the year before last with some other issues and stuff. I'm just, you know what? I'm just over it. I'm just over trying to get caught in a situation that you already knew was a 50-50, that it was going to be a crazy situation, and you decided to go with it anyway. So when my order comes in from Ulta, I'll go ahead and review that and go through that with y'all. But so far, I think her products look really nice in the video. They look really nice in the video. Her video itself, okay, that was pretty good coverage. This is my face without it. With my acne scarring, that's healing. So this is my face without it, with the actual foundation, and that's 2 pumps on this side of my actual face, and just going and just blend it in with an actual brush. It still looks like skin, but you can still see some of it actually coming through. On the other side of my face, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna blend it out with a sponge. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. sponge just to kind of see which one would make more sense. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 pumps. Same thing, just to make sure. We're trying to see, is this better with an actual brush or with a sponge? Anyway, back to Jaclyn. So I definitely want to, Houston, we in trouble. Okay. Anyway, I definitely want to be able to be one of the ones that's like, yeah, okay, I can see this making sense and working itself out. I can definitely see that. Okay, I will tell you guys, with this foundation, you want to move fast because it starts to dry down pretty quickly, and that's not a problem or issue. It's just you want to move fast with this one. So that way you have your blendability, but you also have your coverage, because it comes out sticky and it doesn't necessarily spread the best. And typically what I notice is when I have foundations that behave that way, they have the longest lasting appeal with my actual face and makeup. They last longer. So hopefully this one is that same way too. And using an actual sponge, I'm able to get through and blend out and do my face a whole lot faster anyway. So this is 2 pumps of foundation on this side done with an actual sponge. And this is how much came off of the actual sponge. So this is 2 pumps with the sponge, and this is 2 pumps with the actual brush. And what I'm actually seeing is there's more texture on the sponge side. But going across the part of my face that I did with the actual brush, it just looks better on the actual brush side. So because it looks better on the brush side, I'll just go in here and use a brush. Wet my brush with some primer spray. And I'll go ahead and use 1 more pump. Let's do a pump and a half. A pump and a half to go in here and address some of the issues that I'm having. So that's a full pump and a half I just went ahead and took. And I'm just going back into the parts of my face where I need the coverage. And then I'm just patting into place. Okay, so this is what it's looking like on my actual face with nothing else additional. It's a heavy foundation, where as in you could feel it. You definitely could feel and know you're actually wearing foundation. And with me having, what's that, like 5.5 pumps of foundation on my face, the longer it sits on my face, it starts to settle in more and look a whole lot prettier. And I'm not having like any weird issues or problems. I'm gonna go ahead and set it down and let's just see how it works with setting it down. But as far as concealer, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Flower Beauty concealer. This is their Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. And this is in the shade Medium Deep. So let's go ahead and do this. While I'm letting that concealer dry down, I'm going to take the Pretty Vulgar. This is their Undercover Concealer, and this is in the shade for Days, shade 124. And I'm going to use this just to go in here and go around and add just a little bit of Chocolate Death to the outside of my face. And also to come in here and cut these little cheeks. Now, because this one isn't necessarily a full coverage concealer, it blends out really, really, really well. And that's what I really, really like about it. So I'm going to go ahead and spray down my Juvia's Place J221 Small Complexion Brush. So for Jaclyn, I'm rooting for her. I really am rooting for her. I want to see everything work out and go well with her as far as her lunches. All of this is concerned. I really don't know why. Don't know why at all. Glutton for punishment. I don't know what to tell you. It could be because she was one of the first YouTubers I started watching that really, really taught me a lot about makeup. Remember back when Jaclyn used to be sitting in her kitchen doing makeup and stuff? Like, she just really drew me into the world of beauty over 7 years ago and really, really taught me a lot along the way. And when you have someone that has taught you a lot in life for whatever the subject or whatever it is you guys are talking about, you kind of want to root for that person. You kind of want to see them come out of whatever situation they're in and still be great, still do great. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Call me a glutton for punishment. Call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm rooting for Jaclyn. I want to see her really come full circle and bring it back the way it should be. I really am hoping and wishing for her nothing but greatness. Absolutely nothing but greatness. But, you know, I guess we'll see. What time will tell exactly what'll happen with that particular situation. And now I'll go in here and start to blend out the concealer and go around and blend out those edges with the makeup brush, guys. And doing it this way, you get it to blend seamlessly into the parts of your face that you contoured, along with the parts of your face you went ahead and highlighted. So I put down my actual contour. I put down the highlighter right here. All of this is across the actual foundation and the contour right here. And I went ahead and blended out the contour first. And then I went ahead and, while I was blending out the little concealer I had here, I blended it down into the contour and up into the contour. So that way we don't have too harsh of lines with the two. And they blend better that way for me personally. And it also allows me to keep my transitions clean. Because now at this point, I can still have the darkness down here to kind of, you know, get rid of that double chin. But I still have the lightness to help round out the cheeks, the jaws on my face, while still cutting right here on my cheeks and still being able to, you know, poke out my little apples of my little cheeks. So that's the reason why I do it that way, guys. But anyway, so Jaclyn Hill, rooting for her. I'm not going to be one of them ones going, what the hell, no. Nah, glutton for punishment. Call me what you want to call me, guys. But I'm rooting for her. I hope everything works out. I hadn't really seen anything too crazy with this actual launch. I know people were like, these prices, are you crazy with these prices? But that's where she set her brand at. That's where she sees her brand at. That's where she wants her brand to be. I know a lot of her items come from Italy. And some of them are made here in the United States. So that's what she wants. So I can't knock her for seeing her vision for her actual brand. I can't knock that. But, you know, I'm just like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm not finna hop on that train. just yet. You got to build up a little bit more confidence for me to be able to go to her site and actually place an order for something. I'm not there yet. Doesn't mean I won't get there. It just means right now I'm not there. I'm watching and waiting for greatness to happen for you. I'm just not a part of your process of your greatness, but I'm also not going to be a part of the process of what tears you down. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys get what I'm saying when I actually say that. And the last thing I really want to talk about in this video, Jaclyn, wish her well. Hope all goes well for her. Jeffree Star and all of those influencers out in Calabasas, the hills in California that just won't stop partying and doing different things and involving their fans in the press in a health crisis situation. I really wish they would just grow up. I really just wish they would just grow up. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. It's a little bonkers and bananas for me. But then again, I'm down here in Atlanta, and y'all know Atlanta might have we shut down a little bit. But man, when we open back up, man, we opened all the way back up. They didn't care. They hadn't cared for nothing down here in Atlanta, so, you know. There ain't too much talking I could do living here in Atlanta, but, you know, it ain't us here in Atlanta that's out at the clubs living our best life. It's a lot of celebrities coming in throwing parties and people coming into town from out of town that's been busy shooting and doing crazy stuff in Atlanta. You know, it's not us locally here in Atlanta doing crazy stuff. It's other people around Atlanta that are coming to Atlanta that does all that crazy bull crap that happens over at the malls and at the clubs and stuff. That's not us. One, because we ain't down there no way. We know better. We know when they come to town, we get the hell on. Anyway, so the last thing that I actually want to talk about in the video is going to be this David Dobrik situation. And the fact that people minimize the situation a little too much for my comfortability level. I'm just taking whatever's left on the brush and just going down my nose. You guys know I don't really have a bridge on my nose anyway. So all I do is just fake it and make it. And you guys know I always go around the shading part of my nose just to shade my nose back out. And I accidentally bumped my thumb into my makeup. See right there? So let's just go back in here and fix that. And that's one thing I really do like about the Flower Beauty concealer. It's easy to fix. It does move around, so you definitely need to get set. You need to set it, baby girl. It will move around on you, but it's not too hard for you to go in there and actually fix it, if that makes sense. Hopefully, you guys are following along and that makes sense. Anyway, so this whole David Dobrik situation, I don't understand. I'm trying to understand why. I'm trying to understand why we're even at this point. Why did it even get to this level? This isn't the first time. This isn't the first rodeo. You know, when the young man came out and said his little allegations about, you know, the sexual assault. Because this is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened. It was like, no, he knew about it. He was a part of it. You know, when you have someone who's bigger than you, who has more money than you, who has more power than you, who has more influence than you, they sometimes can go ahead and push that right around. I'm just using a midnight setting powder right now, guys, to go in here and just press that underneath my eyes. Anyway, so with this whole David Dobrik situation, you know, a lot of times people who have more money, more fame, more celebrity status or whatever, they can go ahead and use that to pressure people around to where it could look like, oh no, this person consented to this. No, you use your money, power, and influence to bully them into a corner of looking like they consented to this when in all reality, instead of saying I was wrong, I messed up, you're out here on predatory behavior. And when I heard the story with the young man, I just knew it was going to get a whole lot worse. I already knew that story was going to get a whole lot worse before it got a whole lot better, because we're talking about a story like that breaking in 2021. This ain't 2018, this ain't 2017, this ain't 2015, where you could just shuck and jive your way out of a situation. Gone are those days. I knew it was going to get a whole lot worse because this isn't the first time David Dobrik has been brought up in certain situations and certain things that happens. And I'm not necessarily talking about all the stuff that Trisha Paytas be talking about when she be busy blowing them off the map and exposing them on her channel and stuff. I'm just saying, just historically speaking, this isn't the first time we've heard different things happening or coming out of that camp or a certain situation happening. I'm using the lighter midnight powder, and then I use the darker midnight powder to go ahead and set my face. I put it into these containers because it was just easier for me to work with. Anyway, so when I heard the story in the situation, I was just sitting there, and my whole thing was like, I'm not going to make a video. I'm not going to make a comment or anything like that because I know this is just the beginning of the actual situation. And I didn't like the way... I don't like when people go after victims. I don't like when people go after victims. And what happened with that young man, a lot of people brushed it off, laughed about it, whatever. And I think we have a problem in our society with people not believing guys when things happen to guys and not protecting guys in a situation. Like, I don't understand how people laugh at the fact that a man is assaulted. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. If you had a woman say that this man tricked me into kissing him, this stuff like this, that story would have took a whole different angle. They're like, that's predatory and that's an invasion. Yes, that's. I just don't like the fact that unless a woman say she was tricked into a situation, assaulted in a situation, drugged in a situation, whatever the case may be, a man can't come out and say the same thing. And people don't take him seriously. They be like, stop crying, man up, or just whatever the case may be. So a lot of guys don't come out and talk about the fact that they were assaulted in their youth, assaulted in college, or assaulted being a grown man, or certain situations that may happen because people make fun of them. They come after their manhood. They just do really weird stuff. And I have zero tolerance when it comes to any type of assault on a person, a child, a man or woman or elderly person. I just have zero tolerance in reference to that. Because to me, it's just crazy. To me, it's just like, I don't get it. I don't get why y'all think this is cool. I don't get why y'all think this is funny. Like, I personally don't get it. I just brushed that real quick, and now I'm just going in here and baking because my eyes water. And also because I have oily skin, I have to go in and bake my smile lines so my face doesn't crease or crack. But yeah, back to this whole little David Dobrik situation and everybody laughing about it. Everybody wanted to make a joke about it. When it happened to a guy, I was heartbroken to see people coming after his manhood as a man. The fact that he's from Compton and they already knew what that would mean for him, having to go back home to his community, and they still did it anyway. That's not just predatory. When you know you're doing something to a person and it could affect their entire livelihood and their safety based on where they're from or their religious background or just whatever the case may be, that crosses the line from being predatory and it starts to get into the grounds of racism, homophobia, and also a hate crime. So for me, that whole situation with the young man coming forward with his story and the way they try to just completely smear and slander him in the actual rebuttals and the cases and everything they were doing and talking about, I was just like, nah. I'm trying to choose my words softly and not just go on a cussing rampage because I don't like when people use their power to push other people around or to manipulate them in a certain situation. And I don't like when victims are being shamed or you're digging all in the victim's background and all this other stuff, what does that have to do with the fact that they were assaulted? And a lot of times, assaulting a person isn't, necessarily the R word or something like that. Assaulting a person could be crossing their lines. If I said, no, I'm not cool, I don't want to, and you continuously pursue the actual situation, that is in itself the very definition of you being that type of person. Now I'm going to go in here with just a regular fluffy, this is the Aesthetica P12 brush. I think I got this brush off of Amazon. Child, I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the extra powder on my face. Meanwhile, Trisha Paytas is over there just looking like, dudes, I've been telling y'all this for a while now. I've been talking about these stories for months now. Now y'all want to pay attention? Like, in 2020, I can't believe we're still having to have these conversations about people being comfortable and people not taking advantage of different people. I'm going to go ahead and use a Sigma short shader. This is an E20. And I'm going to go ahead and go into that deep neutral brown that we were using to go ahead and just smoke out a little bit underneath my lower lash line, just a little bit. And I'm taking it 2/3 of the way in. Now to go ahead and blend that out, I'm going to use the Jessup 234 Luxe Smoky Shader Brush. And I'm going to go back into the orange in the actual crease. Hazelnut. And I'm just going to blend underneath this, so I can tie my bottom and lower together to go ahead and smoke it out just a little bit like that. And what I'll go ahead and do is I'll go ahead and pour that same green. This is going to be Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This is an S&P 12 brush. I'm going to go ahead and dip right back into Light-Year. I'm dipping back into Light-Year. And I'm going in dry first, just to go ahead and lay it down. And then I'll go ahead and go back into Light-Year and spray it. And then I'll go back into my actual blending brush. It's a lot of back and forth. Going back into my blending brush, back into Hazelnut. And I'm just going to go ahead and run this across. Go ahead and clean up that blend just a little bit. And then I'll go back into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and just dip into the black and the brown just a little bit. Dump most of that off. And I'm just going in here right at the actual lash line. And I'm just going to go ahead and darken it up just a little bit, so I don't lose any of that smokiness. And then I'll go back into this brush one more time. No additional product, and just blend. So I'm getting a little bit of the smokiness, a little bit of Light-Year, and a little bit of the orange together. Just to go ahead and blend it out with a little bit more of a seamless blend. So I don't see any harsh lines on my lower lash line. So it blends out a little bit more like that. Like this one on this side. This one on this side is still a little too harsh for me. So final seal, I'll go back in with no additional product on the brush. And just go back over that shimmer shade just a little bit. To help me with the actual blend. And now we can go ahead and set the entire face down. I want to go ahead and bring just a little bit more, like, what would you call it? Take away a little bit of the powder first. And I'm using, this is the Olay Mist Ultimate Hydration Essence, and this is the one in Energizing. And while that's on my face, I like to go back in with my thermal water and put my thermal water on my face as well. That'll add some hydration back into my face. And what I used, my sponge that I used to go ahead and set everything down with, I'll go ahead and knock all of that powder off, so I don't go in here and accidentally add a chunk of powder on top of a wet face. And I'll go ahead and squeeze just to make sure I got everything done correctly with it. And I'll go back in there and just pat it off. So now at this point, I can go in here and set my eyebrows down. I'm just going to go ahead and use my Anastasia Dip Brow. And this is in dark brown. And right there in the front where my brows are looking a little see-through and crazy, it's okay. It doesn't look like that in real life. It just looks like that on a camera while filming. It's just because of the way the lights are hitting it. I'm going to go into my Tiny Crooks Brow Gal, and I'm going to go ahead and take a Luxie 246 Precision Crease Brush. And I'm going to go into my 2 lighter shades and just go in here and fill in any of those little blanks, so I don't see blanks in my brows while I'm actually filming. And then I'll go into this powder while that brow gel is still there and just go across my tails. The brow gel is still drying. Now I'll go into my last little baby you guys know I love to use. And this is going to be my e.l.f. Cosmetics Clear Brow Gel. And I'll just go ahead and go across the entire brow. Going back into my concealer just a little bit. You can see kind of right there where my brows aren't necessarily the best. So we're just going to go in here with just a little bit of concealer. And this is on a ColourPop ES brush. Wait, E3 brush. Jesus Christ, Lynn, get it together. And I'll just go in here and just clean that on up. Now for blush, with this look, I really just want to do a purple blush. So I'm going into my Le Femme blushes. And I'm going to go into this purple. I know this looks purple, but it's actually bubblegum pink. It's actually bubblegum pink. I'm going to go into my purple. Same little brush I used to throw away like my powders and stuff. Light hands, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a... Let me stop. I'm just going to use that just to put a little bit of purple down. I love purple when you apply it on a super fluffy brush on women of color. This is a really pretty blush. The darker you are, the heavier handed you can go. The lighter you are, you want to use a really flimsy brush. See how flimsy this brush is? It has some stiffness, but not too much, so where it moves a lot. That's what you want to do when you're using a highly pigmented blush and a real colorful blush. It doesn't take a lot of La Femme products. That's why they last you so long. I bought these blushes like 5 years ago. And hadn't hit pan on none of them. And what I'll do is, you'll see a little bit of residue from when the pans actually hit the top. I'll just literally run the brush across the actual top. And you can see it's kind of giving off like a peachy, purpley color right there. Now watch. And because I went ahead and put it on with a really light, fluffy, airy brush again, this is a cheap brush from Amazon that just works amazingly well. It just airbrushed the brush across my nose to tie it in more together and my actual cheeks. And for a highlighter, do I really feel like doing any type of big, bold, out there highlighter right now? Nope. I'm going to go into a highlighter that for women of color would probably be super scary. But it's not, sis. It's not. You're going to want to take kind of a fluffy highlighter brush that's not... You want to take a little bit of a looser highlighter brush. I'm going to go ahead and use, it's not a highlighter brush. It's a tapered contour brush, but I use it for highlighting. This is the J12. And I like it because of it just disperses the product a little bit better. And this is going to be the Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This is from their holiday collection. This is their loose highlight powder in the shade Snow Angel. And I know y'all sitting up there looking like, Lynn, we black. We black out here in these streets. We can't be going out here with no silver and white highlighters. I'm going to show you guys something. You know me, forever doing the most. I need a brush to pinpoint my application. I'm going to use a Conceal and Correct brush by Real Techniques. And I'm going into just simply what's on the actual top. Nothing else. Dropping off any excess. You can see it on the brush. And I'm just going to drop it right here on the high points. Right here on the high points. I know y'all are like, Mayday, Mayday. Now, after dropping it on the high points, I got that fluffy brush. There's absolutely nothing on this brush. I know y'all are sitting there looking like, here we go again, man. Here we go again with this bull. Watch. All I do is just go in like this. I'm just going in with circular motions and just doing this to go ahead and disperse it. You guys know I like my cheeks to glow too. And from the front, you can see the kind of white stripe and white cast. But just go in here and start to blend backwards first. I'm just doing small circles going backwards. And once I got it blended backwards, then I'll go ahead and start to blend forward. And it'll give you the prettiest sheen on your actual skin. And because I used a purple blush, it's picking up on the purpley pink undertones in that actual blush. And that's what's causing that glow to glow like that. See, over here we like, what is going on? Absolutely not. Over here, it almost looks like I put on a purple highlighter, but I didn't. Let's bronze just a little bit. I'm going to use the Black Radiance True Complexion Soft Focus Finishing Powder, and this is in Milk Chocolate. Same brush that I had the actual blush on. And I'm just going to use this just to go across. And just bronze everything. It looks like it picks up a lot of product. This brush really does pick up a lot of product. But because of the way it airbrushes the products across your face, you never get a splattering of product with your actual face. You can literally just go in here and just use this as an airbrush diffuser for your actual face. See how it didn't like just disperse all the product and everything on my face? Even though when you're going in there and picking it up, it looks super scary with a lot of product. It'll apply it in a really even dispersed way. And again, I got this from Amazon, guys. And this brush that I'm sitting here playing with, that I'm telling you guys about, which has been the truth and holy bae for me. This is the Aesthetica P12. Love this brush. Sometimes some of the cheaper brushes or the cheaper products you buy actually go in and make sense. Anyway, back to this whole David Dobrik situation. Yeah, I'm just sitting over here like I don't know what's going on. I can't believe some of the stuff that's actually happening. You know, we just had a young lady come forward, you know, with her story, tell them what happened. And her story is, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Her story is pretty horrific to listen to. Her story is pretty horrific to even hear. That we're literally having these conversations of stuff like this happening still yet nowadays. What type of lashes do I want to do? I'm trying to figure out what type of lashes I want to do. I'm trying to figure out if I want to be super extra for no reason. Okay, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and use these lashes that we had got in. Remember when I had did my haul and I had showed you guys? These lashes I had got in from, who was it? AliExpress. Yeah, AliExpress. And they were like $2 for the 25mm 3D mink lashes. So we're gonna go ahead and use these lashes. So we're gonna be pretty super, you know, extra. So I'm gonna be pretty super extra with the eyes, and I'm already giving you guys a little purple blush that's actually glowing. When I say we finna be super extra, we finna be super extra. Look at those little fluffy caterpillars. Ooh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. I just feel like actually wearing some lashes. I haven't wore makeup in a while, since the last time I actually went out of town. That was the last time I actually put makeup on my face. So I just feel like getting made up and just being pretty. You ever just had those moments where you just really want to be made up, you just really want to be pretty? Today was one of those days where I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything at all. But I was tired of looking like one of the extras in The Color Purple while I'm over here in my protective hairstyle looking crazy. And, you know, doing video calls with friends, boo, or whatever it may be. You know, after a while, you know, you just get tired of looking like an extra in a movie from the 40s and 50s. So I just wanted to come get cute. I wanted to talk to you guys. And I'm also getting ready to film one of the first stock videos for you guys. Anyway, back to this David Dobrik story. Well, I'm over here busy doing this. You guys already know I'm just cutting the edges of the lashes, and I'm actually just going in here with my House of Lashes Lash Glue, and I'm getting these prepared to get ready to stick on. But while I'm busy doing this, back to this David Dobrik story. Okay, so the young lady, when she told the story of her and her friends going to go visit, you know, one of his friends, and the situation that happened when she got extremely drunk, and her friend had to come in the room and save her, and they had to help, you know, save is not the actual correct term as far as what happened. She alleges penetration happened without her permission. And they just sitting up here just laughing about it online and stuff, and I'm sitting up here like, what the hell your attorney at? What the hell your lawyer at? That's a heavy allegation. That's a real serious allegation when someone comes and tells you, man or woman, I need y'all to stop with that stigma that men can't be assaulted as well. But when a man or woman comes and says XYZ happened to them without their permission in reference to any type of sexual assault, penetration or not, but her story, the young lady who came forward, was alleging that she was penetrated without her permission. And because she was so drunk, she wasn't in the frame of mind to give consent anyway. And her friends actually corroborated that story. And even after the incident, because they filmed the situation and loaded it to YouTube, afterwards, they literally had the nerve to go in the car and say, we're probably going to go to jail for what we just did. And in my mind, I feel so sorry for men and women, both young adults and people my age or older, period, who have to deal with any type of assault. I feel so sorry for people who don't want to come forward and tell their story because, again, we always victimize the victim, especially when you're talking about someone who is well-liked, someone with power, someone with money. We always want to dig into the victim. Well, what did you do? Well, what did you do? Well, what did you do? And I just feel so bad for these people in these situations because I'm setting my face with the Urban Decay all-nighter. I feel so bad for these people in these situations because it's like, who do you go to? Who do you talk to? You're having to relive the moment of your trauma. Okay, guys, sorry, I was just talking and my camera died. All I did was put on the NYX. This is the NYX retractable eyeliner in the shade Aqua Green. I put that in my actual waterline. And I also put a little bit of the Huda Beauty Lifeliner right here on the outside just to close up the outside of my actual eyes. And of course, I put on my favorite Drugstore mascara. This is the Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara by Maybelline New York. Absolutely love this mascara. I'm just sitting up here talking. Anyway, back to this Hola Dobrik this situation. It's heartbreaking to hear a lot of these stories and a lot of these situations that consistently still happen. And the fact that, you know, we sometimes have to wait as far as hearing these stories and trying to figure out, hey, did something actually happen? Or is this just a revenge situation that's happening? Because unfortunately, some people have made it their business to come after powerful and influential people just to be able to get a check, just to be able to clout chase, just to be able to get fame. So I definitely understand that sometimes when we hear these stories and these situations, how we aren't so quick to jump on it, believe it, you know, just whatever the case may be, because sometimes we just don't know. Oh, those are pretty. Oh, I love those. But these things are huge and they're curling back into my darn eye. But they're pretty though. Yeah, sometimes we've had situations happen where we've had different people come forward with different stories and different allegations only to find out they were trying to blackmail the person. They're trying to clout chase, trying to get fame, trying to make a name for themselves by coming up on someone else's name or by throwing dirt on someone else's name or with these allegations. In those situations, I think exactly the punishment for the actual crime that they accuse the person of, when it comes out that they lied about these allegations, I think their punishment should be exactly what that other person would have got had they been convicted of it. That's just how I feel personally in reference to these situations. But the fact that in both of these instances with David Dobrik, they were on camera. They were on camera. And a lot of the conversations and a lot of things that they were saying and talking about, you know, in the video he uploaded and put on his actual channel, I was just like, okay, this is crazy. Okay, so yeah, they some butterfly lashes. Ooh, child, they some butterfly lashes. But you can still see the actual eye look behind it. And I'm over here feeling like I just want to be a little butterfly today. So I'm going to go in here. God knows I love playing with my actual blues. So I'm going to go in here with my JD Glow Cosmetics. I'm going to take 2 different shades from JD Glow Cosmetics. When you don't use them, they will separate like that. So all you guys have to do is just take and just shake them back up so you can get the formulation back to moving around and being the way the formulation should be. I'm going to go in here and do just a little bit of glitter on top of this Terra Moons look that I actually went ahead and did. So when you shake them back up, this is what they look like. I'm going to go in here with Spectra by JD Glow Cosmetics. And I'm going to start right here on the front part of this line. Right here. And then I'm going to go to the actual back side of that line. And I'm going in with Royale. Such a really pretty blue. And I'm just backfilling across it. So it blends really pretty from that green to that actual blue. Just to be able to give me just a little bit more look, depth with that actual look. And since I went ahead and did that, I'm going to go in here and pull out a blue. And I'm going to drop a blue right here at the top too. And I'm just following the natural line and crease with my actual eyes. And because I like the blue so much, I'm going to go in here with a previous brush that I already had dirty, this Jessup 234 long shader smoky brush. I'm going to go into this blue from Terra Moon, which is Orion's Belt. And I'm going to take just a little bit of it. Dump a little bit on my hand, just a little bit. And I'm just going to go in here and just pop a little blue right here at the top. So we get a little fade of blue with the actual look. Don't ask me why I be so obsessed with these blue and green looks. I just think they're really, really pretty. So just going in there and just dropping just a little bit of that across and just blending it into the green just a little bit. So we start to get a look that looks like that. But yeah, back to like I was saying, you know, sometimes we have to just sit here and just wait and actually see what happens. What prompted me to want to make this video and just simply talk about, you know, some of the things in the beauty community and this David Dobrik situation is just the fact that people literally felt it was okay to sit there and try to victim shame this young lady and the young guy when the situation actually happened. And I'm just sitting up there like, I know this is not what we're doing. I know this is not what we're doing. And I know this is not, I just know this is not what we're doing in this day and age. For the actual lips, to be honest with you guys, I think I could do a green lip since I've already done a blue lip. Or I could just go ahead and do like a nude lip. And I'm almost just wanting to go in here and just do a nude lip and just call it a day. So I'm just going to go ahead and do ColourPop. What is this? ColourPop's Mess Around. Since it is a little bit of a darker shade. And I'm just going to go ahead and just pop this on as a quick nude lip. And I like Mess Around because it really whitens your teeth. And because you can see it's like a darker mauve on lighter skin. But on darker skin, it almost becomes a really pretty, natural, normal nude. I absolutely adore Mess Around by ColourPop. I adore this formulation and I also enjoy the shade. And it's such a quick and easy look to where when I want to go in and lighten it up just a little bit right here in the actual center of my mouth, I'll take Dose of Color Sand. And I'll go ahead and pop. I'll pop Dose of Color Sands right there in the actual middle. And I'll take my finger just to go in there and actually blend it all out and to blend it all together. That's the actual look of the actual lip. So, this is what we're looking like for right now with the actual look. What do you guys think? These lashes are huge. You see these lashes all the way up on my actual eyebrows? Absolutely love these lashes. So, we're going to go ahead and pull this hair down. Well, I got these little dookie braids like I'm old girl from Friday, Felicia from Friday. You know, asking for some. I'm going to go ahead and pull this hair apart and actually put on some clothes. And I'll be right back with you guys with my final thoughts in reference to everything. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, guys. So this is the final look. Went ahead and fluffed my hair and actually did something with my actual self. So this is the final look. What do you guys think? Okay, so let's pull out so we can be a little bit more formal in closing the video out. Okay, so let's review the makeup products first. Terra Moon Cosmetics, I absolutely love these. Hello, I don't think I could ask for anything different. If you guys are sleeping on some of the products from JD Glow Cosmetics, I don't know what to tell you, sis. Stop sleeping. They're affordable. They're great. They last a long time. I bought these things like, what, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and you see how excellent and amazing they still are. Absolutely worth every bang for your dollar. These foundations from Smith & Colt, the Veiled Thread Weightless Micro Blurring Foundation, once I actually set it down, it's absolutely beautiful. Love this one. So if you guys are around my shade and my shade complexion, I would tell you guys to go ahead and get 360 Neutral. As we start to tan down and different things happen, there may be another shade in between these two shades. Obviously, that's a huge shade jump. But just mixing 360 Neutral and 430 Neutral together, I'm able to get any of my tan shades that I actually get. So I'm happy, perfectly happy with that Smith & Co. foundation. It's not the highest coverage or the fullest coverage foundation, but it works. It does what it's supposed to do. And it's a sticky, tacky type of foundation, which means you need to work fast. And as you're blending, you can feel it kind of pulling on your skin a little bit. And it does feel like you're wearing makeup. At this point, I've had this makeup on for about an hour now. And the more I wear the foundation, the more light it feels. So right now, at this point, I can't feel the foundation. The only thing I can feel right now are these heavy lashes. But the lashes aren't actually heavy. It's just the curl of the lashes back. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so you way too close to my life for my liking. But as you can see, you see how it's curling back into my actual eyeshadow there? That's what I'm talking about. That's the only thing that's getting on my nerves right now. That curl back. But that curl actually makes it so light and fluffy and airy and pretty. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, absolutely love it. Lashes, love. You know, anytime I can get these type of lashes from AliExpress for $2, I'm always going to get them. I'm always going to jump on it. Yeah, I'm never paying $20, $25, $30 for some lashes. Why? In 2019, it didn't make sense. In 2020, it didn't make sense. In 2021. Girl, just go to AliExpress and order you some lashes from there. Save yourself some time and energy. But, yeah. Final thoughts as far as just being able to close everything out and just pull all my thoughts together since I was rambling while I was doing my makeup. Influencers who consistently party in California and do random meet and greets or just send out information to their fans, knowing their fans who are local or can get local will show up. I think it's highly irresponsible. I think it's just not responsible of you as an influencer. It's irresponsible of you as a person, knowing damn well you could be starting a small COVID super spreader event. Some of your fans could get sick. They could be hospitalized. To me, all of that's just pathetic and irresponsible. But at this point, we've seen them partying and hanging out and just doing whatever they want to do for over a year at this point. And they haven't had any real consequences to their actions. So they got their lights turned off for a day or two. So they got hit with a fine. And that's not a real consequence for their actions. So as long as they don't have any real consequences for their actions, for putting not only their fans in danger, but putting that city in danger that they're doing all that stuff in, like you're putting the hills in danger because these people are going to leave there. They're going to go to a gas station, they'll go to a McDonald's. You're putting Calabasas in trouble. They're going to stop. They're going to get gas, food, or whatever, and it just starts to spread out. That's exactly how that happens. But until the state of California, Los Angeles County, the mayor, the governor, until they actually decide to put their foot down, the rest of us is just sitting on social media, just counseling them and just being like, just trying to call them out on their BS. But until the authorities actually step in and take action, what can you do? They obviously are uncancelable because y'all been trying to cancel the 5 biggest violators for over a year now, and they still just living their best life. So at this point, I'm glad to see the younger generation between the ages of 15 and 21 taking more accountability and not going to some of these events and parties like they did last year. I'm very proud of that growth. Second, Miss Jaclyn Hill. I'm a fan of Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill is more or less like, I keep rooting for her. I keep rooting for her to finally just win. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I told y'all in the video, she taught me so much. Like, easily 20% of the stuff that I know about makeup, I learned just watching Jaclyn Hill. Just even though we have 2 totally different skin textures, 2 different type of skin types, and we're obviously 2 different skin complexions. Clearly, she's white, I'm black. But it's just her knowledge and the way she's able to teach when she actually chooses to teach us stuff it's amazing. So I'm a glutton for punishment. I root for Jaclyn. I do. I just be like, come on, sis. Come on. Oh, you done fucked up again. Oh, Jaclyn. I root for her. And I I want to see what she has in store for us next. I'm always going to watch her videos. A situation hasn't happened yet to where I'm just like, what? I did have a moment where I had unsubscribed from her because after the whole lipstick gate and just her inability to boss up and be a CEO completely turned me off. I talked about that in the video I did about her. But I'm happy to see that she's happier and in a better place with her current man. I did not like the fact that she called John a drug addict on social media, because even though he's admitted to us that he is a drug addict and that's how he refers to himself, I would never refer to a loved one in my life that way. That's just me personally. I would say they had an addiction problem. I wouldn't call him a drug addict. Yeah. I would be like, I would just say it better. I would word it better. It's 2021. So the PR optics of calling someone a drug addict and different things like that is in my mind, I feel like, why go down that road if you don't have to? It's other ways you could phrase it and word it. Again, I'm still rooting for Jaclyn Hill. Like, I'm rooting on her to just get together, just pop out and tell her she's pregnant or something. That's really what I'm waiting on, since all of our influencers are getting pregnant and having babies now. And the final thing with this whole David Dobrik situation, one, I feel like it's complete and utter trash that we victimize victims. I do understand that a lot of people have come forward in the past with made up allegations just to get fame off someone else's name, to try to get money from them, to try to blackmail them, or to try to get clout out of the whole situation. So I definitely understand why we side-eye victims nowadays, but it hurts something inside of me that a man, a woman, or a child could come forward with their story of abuse and then be re-victimized by us, the general public, and knowing that the amount of courage and strength to even be able to speak out and tell your truth, when you're speaking your truth in reference to a boss, a superior, someone with money, someone with fame, someone with a platform, like the whole situation with the allegations that are being levied against David Dobrik, it highlights a bigger problem that we have in our society. And I just keep thinking and hoping that we can find a way to be better, to do better. It's been a lot that's happened here in the past 3 weeks. Obviously, I'm in Atlanta, so you guys heard about the shooting situation here in Atlanta with the Asian community. And we have like almost 20 countries at this point that are going back into lockdown. So it's just so much life happening, so much real stuff that's happening right now, to where you're just like, I know I just want to, I'm optimistic. I do have my pessimistic moments, but I'm very optimistic. I still want to be able to kumbaya, like, woosah, can we get our shit together? Can we get along? But I'm still optimistically, hopefully believing in humanity. I see a whole lot more good in humanity than I see devastation. So, because that's the way I see life, that's the way I live life. I try not to violate other people. I try not to judge other people. I definitely don't wake up and just decide to just pee in somebody's cornflakes. So I try to give out the vibes and energy and aura that I want to vibrate back to me. I try to reach other people through my vibrations, but in a positive way. Hopefully that makes sense. I know y'all like, are you about to pull out crystals and stuff too, Lynn? But YouTube, that's the end of my video. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming back and spending time with me. And I know some of you guys had asked questions in previous videos when I come on looking like Harriet Tubman and then I do my makeup. I mean, Harriet Tubman was beautiful. Okay, let me not say that. When I come on here looking like an extra in the color purple, and then I do my makeup and I fluff my hair out and I come back all made up, a lot of you guys just wanted questions about full outfit. I've already told you guys 50% of the time, I'm lying. 90% of the time, it's not a full outfit. It's just a top that I done threw on, or it's a dress that I done hiked up and pulled up, and I be sitting here in sweatpants. So yeah, if I'm actually doing something, getting ready for an event or something like that, I'll show y'all the whole outfit. But for the most part, you know, I'm pretty much naked. Well, not naked. I got on bottoms, but you know. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But the top itself, ladies, this is a 3X. This is a size 3X. This top is from Fashion Nova. It is their snakeskin longs. One sleeve, one shoulder cut out. I don't know how you want to take it and put it in the back. Looks like that. So it's really, really pretty. I definitely like it. If there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, anything else you heard, some of the topics and subjects that's been happening in the beauty community that I'm just not touching. One, is not even worth my time. Two, I already told y'all I'm about to start doing stocks and crypto video for you. Matter of fact, I'm about to film a crypto video for you guys here. Today is Sunday. I'm about to film my crypto video so you guys can go ahead and start investing in crypto and making money today. And I'm going to put up my stock video tomorrow. So that way you guys know different plays for the stock market. But that's it. That's the end of the video. Girl, I ain't got nothing else. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming back and spending time with me. I don't care if you are watching me in the morning, afternoon, evening, or late at night. You guys already know. I'm just happy that you chose to come back and spend some time with the girl. And as always, thank you, YouTube. Bye. Be safe, guys. Wear masks. Be safe. Bye.